Okay. So hi, for those of you who have managed to get here, I'm real proud of you. It's a trick, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too hard. I think the easiest way is just to click the link, and then you have to use the password. And we do, for security, we enter or admit people one at a time. And so that's what we've been doing. And so I'm just going to get started and tell you a little bit. This, of course, is Math 81. And so I'll be teaching it. We'll go through the entire course. And I'll take you over to the website in a minute. So I wanted to tell you, once in a while I talk like I'm from New York because I grew up there. And so when I'm tired, that's what I talk like. And so if you're from the East Coast, you'll hear it every now and then. I lived in Maine for a good number of years. And I taught for one of the campuses on the University of Maine system. And so then 6 years ago, my husband and I moved to Seattle, where our son was. And so I'm now in Squim, but the campus that I taught for so long used a lot of distance learning, so it doesn't frighten me, although things can go wrong easy as pie, I know it. And so we just have to stay calm and do the best we can. Try to learn the different parts of Zoom and the different things, the technology, we'll make it. And so what I wanted to do is let you know there's let's go over. I'm going to show you some of the things that we can do. I'm going to go over this way. One of the things I can do is write on paper, so I'll do that. And so, yeah, so I'd be able to write and explain things. And so one of the things that you may realize is there's a course ID. This gets you into the XYZ, okay? And so what I've talked to the people at this company, basically you have free access to the first chapter, and you have access for a week, maybe 2 weeks into this website, and then you need to purchase access. And so we'll talk about it. But in the meanwhile, you can get into the website, you can read the chapter, you can do the homework all in chapter 1 until you get things sorted out. So just keep that in mind. And anyway, so that's one of the things that we'll be interested in. What I want to do is take us over so this is our website, and hopefully you've seen it. And you should be able to see what I'm seeing, which is the XYZ website. And this is our course. If you can't, let me know right away. But I think we probably should be able to see it. It looks like everything's in position. So what I wanted people to do before this class was to get onto this website and see, here's the syllabus. And it's not that hard to get into. And so this is what you were looking at, a list of the book and discussion about the access and the fact that you needed to be here for this first class, or at least send me an email, and a few people did. And this is the course code that I just mentioned. And we will have deadlines for different assignments. This also, you probably looked at, it had to do with the grading and so on. And so anyway, that's what that's about. And then the rest of it sort of tentative schedule. So let me see if I can get out of that. So probably what really is important here is understanding what's going on with this access to the book. This is what the paperback book looks like. And so on XYZ homework or textbook website, you'll see this icon. And so this is the information about this textbook. And so this is what I wanted you to do. And I suspect most of you have already done it. So this is good. You went to this website, you use this course link or this course code, and you registered as a student. And I can see how many people actually manage that. Then you have free access for 2 weeks to the website, and you have free access to chapter 1 before you do any purchasing. And so these were the 2 basic options. I think the bookstore can do something else, but I think this is the easiest way to go. The XYZ website will notify you on your screen when your access is almost expired. And so this is probably the simplest way to do it. Just get the 1-year access. $45 is what they told me. And so that would give you the ebook and access to the homework and everything else that's available through that book. And so that's clearly one way to go. Now, this doesn't give you a paper book. And I know some people are totally happy reading things online. They have no problem with that. But occasionally somebody likes a paper book. And so the second option is to get all of the above plus the paper book. And I have a copy of the paper book, and there was a promotion code. So it's typically $50, but now it's $40 with this particular promotion code. I haven't heard anybody try it and make it work, but you can let me know if it does or doesn't. But notice this is a different website. This is XYZ textbooks. So XYZ homework and textbooks are 2 companies that work together, but they are separate websites. And so if you want a paper book, I would do it right away so that you can get your book and get your access code to the website. So all homework is done online. So one person asked me, well, I have a book, but that's not going to work. The book will be good for reading the information, but the homework must be done online so that I can see what you've done. And so you still need that online access regardless, so that you can do your homework. And so are there any questions about this so far? I know it's a little confusing with 2 different websites, but they're supposed to be working together. Any question? Okay. Nobody's talking to me. Okay, so those are the 2 things. Hopefully, if you need help, this here messages goes only to me, and then I'll answer you directly if you run into problems. And so keep that in mind. This is probably the best way to reach me. Then I know which course you're in, because I'm teaching 2 different courses this quarter. And then I look at it often. So this is what you use to get in. And here's the calendar. And for some stupid reason, there's 2 versions of it, so don't be concerned. This is today, it's highlighted. This is our class, and we'll have a class on Wednesday, same time. the first few assignments, I move them all to be due on Friday. So the red basically indicates when they're due. Okay, and so I'll talk about some of it today. I'll talk about some other topics on Wednesday, and then by Friday, you should have them done. So typically what happens is I'll go over something and it will be due in a couple of days, and then I'll go over something else and it will be due in a few more days. And if you can't meet the due deadlines, there is this option for a late pass, which gives you an extra 2 days to finish the assignment. And so there's a limited number of those, but if you run out, let me know. And so anyway, this is our tentative schedule. I may change it, but I want you to notice right here that there are tests for chapter 1 and chapter 2. Here it is. It looks like it's October 18th. That's a Monday. And so what we will do is take the test during class time. So you'll come to class. I'll give you the information for you to get started. And the only thing you'll need to do for me is turn on your video so that this test is proctored, so I can see you doing the test. And then when you finish the test, you can leave. So it just depends, but that's the way we'll do the exams. And so you need to turn on the video and figure out how to do that. And then there'll be another class on Wednesday. We'll start something new. So this may change a bit. So notice every couple of weeks, there's another test, and so on. And I put the final here. This is December 15th. And I assume that's probably when we'll take it, although this may move. There's a final schedule. And so I'll keep dealing with that. So anyway, yeah, there's Thanksgiving and so on. Any questions about the calendar? So this is sort of our guide.
Do we use calculators?
Yes?
Do we use calculators?
Well, it seems like most of the time we won't. So we'll just, we'll try to do it without it, because they'll keep the problems small enough, and this will remind you. Have you always used a calculator?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the advantage of not using it for a while is to remember some of these multiplication facts, and then you'll make fewer mistakes.
Okay.
But make an honest effort not to. I think it works better to get that hands-on feel. So anyway, that's my recommendation. They keep the numbers down. Once in a while, I'll actually pull out my own calculator. I have it right here on my desk. So, okay. Other
Yes.
questions can you think of? Anybody else? So what I wanted to do, you probably can't see, this is a place where I put the class recordings. And so I have to take it and get it processed and bring it back, but that will be there. And so each class I will record if I remember, remind me if I don't. And so there it is if you need to look at it again.
Okay.
And there'll be other things, test instructions and so on. This is now hidden, but you'll eventually see it. And let's see, what else do I have? So down here, this is the XYZ ebook. And there's also videos. And so if, for instance, I'm just going to click this one. And so let me see if you just need to play around with this and check it out. So this is a video made by the author. I think this is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, it's what it's looking like. So if you prefer to, listen to somebody explain things, then there's all these options here. And I guess I may have to click watch the video. I don't know. So there's different
Vamos a
ones.
escribir cada expresión sin el símbolo de valor absoluto.
So what I wanted you to be aware of is there's multiple people explaining different topics. Some are done in Spanish, actually. Others are in English. And so there's different things here. And so just be aware that all of this is here. Now, the first section, 1.1, I want you to see where I'm clicking. I'm clicking this part at the top. And this is the homework. And so literally you can just, after you have read the material and you have a pretty good idea, then you can just go ahead and get the homework done and so on. So that's where that was. So let me just show you again. It was right here. Can you see it? This actually, I think, is the video I was looking for. And so this was another option for people. And so since a lot of the work you do is online, it's not during class time. If you like, watching somebody do something, then there it is.
Welcome to the video lessons for section 1.1.
So this is the author, and he's basically going to explain the place value. And so he goes over it. And so it's up to you.
Now this digit 9 is in the ones column, 6 is in the tens column, 5
And
is in the
so on.
hundreds column. This is the
I'm going to cut him short. How's that? So is that clear? So there's an awful lot here. And like I said, you have access to all of chapter 1 before you purchase anything. But then here are the other chapters. We do most of them. And there's also test reviews at the very bottom here in blue. Do you see it? And so that might be useful to you as well. Let me just click that real fast just to see what we've got. Oh yeah. So somebody's made up practice questions. It won't hurt. And it's clearly optional. Okay. Can anybody think of, so I just wanted you to know what's here. Some of these things are hidden, but most of it is not. And if there's anything that doesn't seem right, or you're having trouble accessing something, then go back and send me this message and I'll fix it. Okay? All right. So I wanted to tell you a few things. You can, people ask what should they, how should I be addressed? You can call me Margaret. You can call me Mrs. Patterson. You can call me Dr. Patterson, because that's also applies. And a few people, especially on the East Coast, would call me Professor. And so whatever you choose to call me, that's fine. I'll answer to anything, except when somebody says, hey, I don't really respond too well to that, but any of the others would be totally fine. So just call me how you like, okay? Any other questions you can think of? Let me come back and see where we are. I'm going to come back. So we have 22 people, mostly hidden. What is it you need? Did anybody have trouble with the website or questions about getting access to the textbook or anything? What do you think? Hi, Jackie. Are you there?
That was a mistake.
Okay, a mistake. So would somebody turn off their mic and talk to me? I need to see who's brave.
I'll talk to you.
Talk to me. Jackie. I need to know you're there and still awake.
Yes, I'm here. I pace, so I turn my camera off so I don't bother other people.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Can I get somebody else to turn on their, turn off their mic?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. What's up?
So what's up? So, is this your first quarter going back to school, or are you taking other courses or what?
For me personally, this is my first quarter as a freshman of college, which is great. And this is my second class, I think.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Okay, because I imagine because of this particular course, it could be somebody's first course, and so they're a little bit uneasy. Can I go with that word? I could invent other words too, but
Yeah, for me, I'm a little bit more uneasy about the subject material than like the structure of the class, I think.
did you have trouble with math?
Yes, very much so.
Yes. So typically what happens is, for some reason, and it could be a million reasons, things went haywire. Things did not go well. And then it became a problem.
Yep.
And so you probably wanted to take algebra and other courses, and you got to get past this course so that you have enough background to handle it. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So the real thing is it's totally doable. And the only reason I can think of is when people get in trouble is they just disappear. The other thing I wanted to say is that I'm still, mostly at home. I'm not out too much. So I'm totally willing to help people at almost any day of the week. So if you're thinking I don't want to help you, you're wrong. I do. And the only thing I ask is don't wait until the last week and say, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble, when it's really kind of too late. If you're in trouble, just let me know. And, we can set up tutoring. I can meet people on Zoom individually. So we can cover a ton of material all really fast and get you caught up. So don't be thinking I'm not going to help you. I will, but you have to be the one to ask for help. Got it?
Got it. Thank you.
Got it. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. So anybody else have something to say about their math anxiety?
Hi.
Oh.
Hi there.
Sorry.
I'll talk to this one. How do you say your name? Mel.
Yeah, it's Melawit, but you could call me Mel.
Mel. I will. I try. So, how are you doing? Is this your
I'm doing,
Are you doing okay?
yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay. Good. All right. Anybody else? So you just have to get comfortable with this, because this is going to work, and we're all in the same boat, if you know what I mean. So everybody's in the same place. And if you're not, you need to talk to me and let me know. I'm in the wrong place, help me. But, okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Louis.
What is next after this class?
Yes.
What do you take next?
So the math, it's number 087. And it's the beginning part of algebra. And I think all programs need at least this course and the very next course. So my advice is to not wait 5 years.
Okay.
Take this course and go right away to the next course before you lose any of it. Because you want to get this math done and over with. Now, some people need more math, but at the very minimum, every program needs two. This one and the very next one, 87.
Yeah, I just did electives to finish to graduate.
Okay. All righty. And so So that's what, we want to get this one done and then as immediately take the next one. Some people just wait a couple of weeks or wait a month to take their final and then they've forgotten. I mean, things you forget. And so don't be waiting at all. Is that okay?
Yes.
That's my advice. What do I know? I don't know. All right. So what do you think? Are we comfortable enough? Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm on paper. And what I want to do is just tell you what I think might give you problems in this first chapter. And so I'm going to actually talk about this. And if you have questions, let me know. The very first topic was place value. And I know you've probably seen this a million times. So this is the ones and the tens and the hundreds. These are all the thousands, 3,000 and so on. These are all thousands and so on. Then we have millions. Then we have billions. And now because of the budget, we have trillions, right? So these are the thousands. These are the millions. The next three would be billions by, and the next three would be trillions, try. And so this is what we will see. And so you get used to what each place is. So this place here is the 10,000 place. Okay. Now, the only thing that's kind of weird is sometimes they said, take a number, a large, I'm going to just take a small number. Take a number and write it out in words. And so you would say, okay, I've got it, 300. I'm going to do it wrong. $375. It's so to say that, isn't it? It is. The word end only belongs to the decimal place. And so even though you've been taught to say it, when they ask you which is the correct way to say this, you've got to take the word end out. So for instance, if you have 51.7, so this would be, and we're not doing decimals yet, by the way, but this would be 51 and that's where it belongs, and 7/10. So the end only, you can't have a couple of decimal points in a number. And so this does not belong. So back to this number again. Here's the other fine tune, 375. This is still not correct.
Huh?
It looks better than before. It's better than this one, but it's still a fine little thing that you may not have learned is that 2-digit numbers like 75, 82, 96, 34, they hyphenate. And so when you see it, they'll have the choice of 75 without the hyphen and 75 with, and you're going to say, well, darn, they look the same, but this is the correct one. So it could happen anywhere. Let me try another one. 389,000. So this is 389,000. So 300, I wish I could write faster. 89,000. Whoops.
The video froze.
Yeah. Let's see if I can figure out. It happens. There. Okay, technology. So notice even the 80, whoops, I got carried away. 89 that was a 2-digit number, even though it was in the thousands place. And so that, just be careful about that because it's such a small little detail. Okay, so that's a small thing. The other thing I want, I don't ask you to memorize definitions, but it helps to have a page of definitions so that when you're reading something, you understand what the deal is. In other words, they say whole numbers and you say, well, numbers, what's that? But then there's two kinds. There's the whole numbers and there's the counting numbers, and they're slightly different. So the whole numbers, I want you to see, I'm trying to make a 0 there. The whole numbers start with 0. And so chapter 1 is all about whole numbers mostly. And so occasionally we include a 0 in the computation. The counting numbers, if you said count, you wouldn't start with 0, you would start like this. So counting numbers start with 1, whole numbers start with the 0, whole. And so the reason they make a distinction is there are certain things you can do with counting numbers that you can't do with whole numbers. And you can't get off of chapter 1 without realizing that. So we'll see that maybe today, I'm not really sure. It's a little after 11. So anyway, that's what I want you to be aware of. Okay. There is a section about adding and a section about subtracting. And there's a section about perimeter. And so you will go ahead and read in the textbook. This is a rectangle. And so the distinguishing factor about a rectangle, if this is 11 inches, that would be the same. And if this is 5, that would be the same. And so that's what a rectangle looks like. And it has 90-degree angles here. So if they said, calculate the perimeter, what you're doing is finding the edge. You know that word perimeter? You're going to walk the perimeter of it. Yeah, you're walking around the edge. So if you walk the perimeter of your house or something, or your apartment.
Oh, if you can call me back on noon, that'd be great. It's like 18, and I didn't know the number, but I'll lock it in now.
Okay. So anyway, so there's a formula. There's 2 of these 11s and there's 2 of these 5s. But the truth of the matter is you could definitely just add up the bottom, add them up. So there'd be 2 11s and 2 5s. And I'm going to pretty much stop. So that would be 22. That would be 10. That would be
32.
32, and assuming it was inches or whatever, it would still be inches. So I know the time is, it's after 11. We definitely got started. What I want you to do is work on the beginning sections, see how far you can get. You can send me questions in with messages and so on. And that's what we will, you'll see how far we can get. Any last question before we leave?
So how many chapters do we need to do for today?
So I would say do the first 3, 1.1, 1.2, do as far as you can get, because you can clearly see what you're going to eventually finish chapter 1. So if you want to do more, but see what you can do on your own. And if not, we'll talk about it some more next class.
Cool.
Everybody happy? Be happy.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you be able to show your notes one more time? I just forgot to write one thing.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So I'll,
Cool. I got it. Thank you.
okay, all right, I'm gonna stop the recording. Toop, toop.